So there's definitely been a lot of leaks and rumors about the next Pokemon game, and this time around it's getting even more exciting. So at first we thought that the next Pokemon game after Pokemon Winds and Waves, it was going to be Pokemon Legends Galar. Now this could still hold true because up to the Terra leak, we pretty much saw this coming. But now there's been some more information that has spilled out over this. Now if you take a look at this right here, Project Karasu. Now this is something that we found in the Terra leak. But recently, there's been even more code about the game that can lead into something multiple different things, which is really awesome. So what's going on, everyone? How's your day going? Let's get straight into the video. Okay, so at first, Project Karasu, it seemed like it had one meaning. It had one meaning, which was essentially going to be Pokemon Legends Galar. But now, if we take a look at this right here, you can see that Bald Guy posted, I checked my Japanese dictionary and found that Karasu Sadauchi has two meanings. One is crow and one is essentially to wither. This actually might connect to Calyrex. Now, Calyrex is known for the King of Bountiful Harvest by the Crown Tundra. So we knew that Calyrex was essentially a Legends Galar if that was connected. But then the crow, what does this have to do with anything? This could be Farcrow, this could be Surfetch, this could be a whole bunch of different things. But if it's Farcrow, this would honestly lead into Pokemon Legends Johto. Because honestly, think about it this way. Legend Johto would be a game unlike any other, because the last time that you went to the Johto region was inside of a 2D format with Heart Gold and Soul Silver. You never really got that proper 3D game. So honestly, if this is all going to be happening, a Legends Johto game would be really interesting. But then if you take a look at this right here, apparently the Pokemon Company was working on a Legends Johto game, but then they decided to scrap it because it was too ambitious or something like that. But what if this is a false leak? Now we've known that Nintendo and the Pokemon Company have been doing false leaks on purpose to try to catch the mole inside their mitts. So potentially this could be a false leak where they are saying, oh well, we scrapped it, so no more leaks for that, you better stop leaking this out, so there you go. But then we see this code, which could lead into two different things. Now here's my theory on this whole Pokemon game. So the next Pokemon game, or in 2028 with Pokemon Legends Galar and Legends Johto, what if something funny happens? What if something funky happens inside of the region? So first off, let's just say that both of these leaks were right. Let's just say that Legends Johto is actually in development and Legends Galar is also in development. Now I'm not saying that they're going to release two different Legends games in the same year, but instead we know that the Pokemon or the Pokemon games like to experience with space-time continuum. So what if this time around the crack in reality forms and these two regions are sort of fused together? Like honestly, that could very well happen. Because if you looked at Legends Arceus definitely did explain a lot of what we could be seeing from now on in Pokemon, because it really did show you a space-time balance between games. So maybe this could be it for Pokemon Legends Johto. I honestly think that this would be awesome, and instead of being called Legends Johto or Legends Galar, it could be called something completely different. Now would it be too far off to say that this could actually be a reality? Because honestly, I think that the Pokemon Company is exploring into different ways to make games. Instead of taking a region that pretty much already exists inside of that format, well then you could see it in a different way. Honestly, it would be cool. Because you have the Dynamax layer, the Dynamax Den would clearly make some sort of story going on there. But then you had Eternius, am I saying that right? Eternius, the big bad at the end of the story. Maybe that could create a space-time rift. And inside of Johto region, well, you have Lugia and Ho-Oh. Now, technically, they don't control time like Palkia and Dialga, but they still technically could make something work out of that. Overall, I find this to be really, really interesting. And if this leak is actually going to be accurate, because the leaks that we've been getting so far are honestly pretty accurate, so maybe this is actually what this is going to be. A mixed reality game, because we knew that we are going to be getting some remake of like multi-region remakes. What if that's actually what that's going to be? Like a Legends game that has multiple different regions. I think that that would be really awesome because, like I said, Johto hasn't really been explored in the longest time. And seeing it in a 3D format, I know it might ruin the vibe for you of going to Johto region because you just want to play Heart Gold and Soul Silver. But imagine exploring that, because recently I played some sort of Minecraft mod with like Johto elements and like other things, and it honestly was really interesting, and it made me wonder, what if there was a Pokemon game exactly like this, seeing elements from older games but mixed into a 3D format that is essentially like a Legends game? Because I honestly think that the Legends format really works out well. Like, it honestly does, because you can go like anywhere you want, you can catch Pokemons on however you want. Legends ZA, let's just say that that wasn't really a Legends game. It was kind of like a weird Legends game. It wasn't really a Legends game in that sense, because the way that I see Legends game is more like Legendary. Like, when I look at Legendary, I see more like the past, sort of. So all the Legends game usually would be in the past. I think that Legends Arceus really did a great job on this. Although it would have been better if the game actually looked really good, but besides that aside, I really thought that that game was really cool. It had so much to do and so much to explain on everything that you could really see in Pokemon. And it really felt you connected within like the world around you, with the Pokemon surrounding you and everything associated with that. Legends ZA, it was interesting. You were stuck in a city and it didn't really feel like a Legends game, because like you didn't really feel that environment, the wilderness and that sort of stuff. It didn't really feel like nature was surrounding you, but instead you took nature and you pretty much made the Lorax movie out of it. Overall, I found that to be really interesting. I didn't necessarily say that Legends ZA was a bad game. It definitely had a lot of innovations on the entire aspect. And this time around, maybe we can see two different things. So instead of seeing just the turn-based battle, maybe the Legends game can take hold of the actual live action stuff. Because we know that Pokemon Winds and Waves is going to have the original battle system back, because that's essentially where the generations came from. It would be kind of unfair if they got rid of that and then made it live action stuff, so keeping it inside of the Legends game would make the most sense. And there you go, you would have your perfect Legends game with these two in mind. Galar and Johto could potentially be fused together, with a bit of asset like salt sprinkled on top of Legends ZA. I don't want to see Stuck in a City, because Stuck in a City would kind of suck. I mean, Goldenrod City, I guess it would be kind of better than Lumio City, but still, Stuck in a City kind of sucks in a lot of different ways, and being able to fully experience the game to your heart's content is the best way to play a Pokemon game. So, overall, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that Pokemon Legends Johto, Galar, or whatever is actually going to be happening, or do you think this was a ramble on nothing completely different? My theories don't make any sense whatsoever. But anyways, I would love to know what you think about all this. Do you think that Legends Johto, Galar, mixed reality, one game or two game is going to be happening, or not so much? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Consider hit the like button, maybe subscribing if you're new. We do a bunch of different Nintendo content on this channel, and I would really appreciate you being here. Our goal is trying to get to 5,000 subscribers, so consider to hit that button. The like button also would help. Anyways, thank you so much. See you in the next one.